Wu Guo, Ling Jia in Shangyan town, the moon hung in the sky. Ling Han spent a full 10 seconds, only to finally confirm he had indeed reincarnated. For a heavenly human realm expert, it would take 10 seconds to confirm a matter. This was absolutely unbelievable, but it also proved how unbelievable the matter that happened to him was. In his previous life, he stood at the pinnacle of martial arts. In alchemy also had achievements that had never been seen before. He created the 3 fires guiding technique, stirred up a revolution in the alchemy world, and was revered as the alchemy emperor. But he was still not satisfied. He still wanted to go one step further, reach the shattered void realm, shatter the void, and transform mortals into gods and legends. Therefore, he explored countless ruins, finally entered the Black Blood Valley, experienced layer upon layer of danger, and then found a mysterious ancient tower. Not to disappoint him, on the ancient tower there were golden words. It was a supreme cultivation method, called the indestructible heavenly scripture, practiced to the highest realm. The body was indestructible, living together with heaven and earth. But even with Ling Han's heavenly human realm cultivation, he still felt that the indestructible heavenly scripture was difficult to understand. It was like reading a heavenly book, completely without any clue. He forcefully memorized that cultivation method, wanting to study the ancient tower a bit. Then the ancient tower shook, shooting out a boundless divine light, instantly destroying his body. But strangely, his soul did not dissipate, falling into a kind of state of being awake and unconscious, lasting for more than 10,000 years. In this place for 10,000 years, his soul was still deducing the indestructible heavenly scripture. Other than that, he could not do anything. 10,000 years later, he finally comprehended the first level of the cultivation method. A heavenly human realm expert, spending 10,000 years just comprehending the first level of a cultivation method. What does this concept mean? You must know that heavenly human realm expert, the lifespan is not even 1,000 years, normally speaking. Basically, no one in the world can cultivate the immortal heavenly scripture, because they die of old age before they even start. But Ling Han used this strange method, mastering the first level of the immortal heavenly scripture. Then, he suddenly reincarnated into a 16-year-old youth, also named Ling Han. Unbelievable. No matter what happens, in general, I have been resurrected. Although this body is only at the second level of body refining, a waste that cannot be a waste again. But I was once a heavenly human realm expert, standing at the peak of martial arts, and also a grandmaster of alchemy. If my aptitude is poor, I can use medicinal pills to repair it. I don't believe I can't return to the peak. Furthermore, I can finally cultivate the immortal heavenly scripture. This is a supreme cultivation method, even. It's not possible that it's from the mortal realm, but from the legendary divine realm. Otherwise, how could it be possible that it would take 10,000 years to understand the first level? In this life, I will definitely surpass my predecessors and achieve divine status. Also, what exactly happened to this body that I only cultivated to the second level of body refining at the age of 16? Could it be because the current martial arts are too withered? Boom, countless memories flooded into my mind. These were memories belonging to another Ling Han, and in this process, 2 completely different people had merged into one. I understand. Ling Han nodded. The reason why he was currently only at the second level of body refining was because his spiritual root was too weak. If he wanted to cultivate into a martial artist, there was a prerequisite, and that was that he must definitely grasp the spiritual root. With a spiritual root, one can absorb the spiritual energy in heaven and earth, train oneself, and transform it into one's own original force. Some spiritual roots absorb spiritual energy quickly. Some spiritual roots are slow. So spiritual roots are divided into 4 levels of heaven and earth Xuan Huang. Each level is divided into 3 grades: upper, middle, and lower, with heaven grade upper grade being the best, and yellow grade lower grade being the worst, judging the advantages and disadvantages of a spiritual root. The key is the level of purity, the purer the better. And Ling Han's spiritual root is a complete 5 elements, belonging to the most chaotic type in the martial arts world. This is the weakest type of spiritual root, and when considered as a yellow grade lower grade, it can only be said to be barely possible. So this year he is 16 years old, but he has only cultivated to the second level of body refining, while his peers, at the very least, have reached the fourth or fifth level of body refining. In his previous life, Ling Han had a heavenly spirit root, and moreover, it was a top-grade heavenly grade 9 yang fire spirit root. In addition, he had an unparalleled talent in alchemy. With the help of alchemy, he only used 200 years to reach the heavenly human realm. This was an unprecedented record in ancient and modern times. 5 elements miscellaneous spirit root. This is the lowest spirit root, no wonder. Although the predecessor worked extremely hard, but could only reach the second level of body refining. For me, although the 5 elements miscellaneous spirit root is a bit of a hindrance, but relying on medicinal pills, at most 400 years, I will reach the peak. Oh, Ling Han exclaimed in surprise in his heart. His face revealed an expression of disbelief and shock. He was stunned for a long time, then used his powerful soul power to observe the spirit root in his dantian. The expression of surprise instantly turned into ecstasy. This is not the 5 elements miscellaneous spirit root. The 5 elements are completely balanced, forming a Tao lotus. This is the 5 elements chaos lotus, the best of the best, even rarer than the 9 yang fire spirit root. It can be considered a god-level spirit root. The predecessor cultivated slowly, because the god-level spirit root all needed special cultivation methods to be able to display its true might. And I actually hold the 5 elements heavenly extreme art, which is worthy of the 5 elements chaos lotus. 100 years. No, just 50 years, and I can reach the celestial realm again. Even with his previous life's celestial realm cultivation, Ling Han couldn't help but reveal a look of joy. His spiritual root was set at birth, and could not be changed after birth. In his previous life, he visited countless ruins to become a god, and obtained a large amount of secret techniques. The 5 elements heavenly extreme art was one of them. In his previous life, he stood at the pinnacle of martial arts, and in this life, he once again established his brilliance, writing an immortal myth. How did he die in his previous life? Ling Han flipped through his memories, and very quickly, he revealed a look of anger. His previous life was the only son of Ling family's patriarch Ling Dongxing, and his mother, paternal grandparents had passed away early. The Lang family is a martial arts family. Every clan member practices martial arts, and also respects martial arts. Why can Lang Donghan sit in the position of family head? It is because his strength is the strongest. He can strike with his fists. But Ling Han, because of the problem of spiritual roots, was treated as an object since childhood, and was despised. In order to give his son a bright future, Ling Dongxing and Huyang Academy had an advantage. Huyang Academy would recruit Ling Han to become a disciple, and cultivate him with all their might, and as an exchange, Ling Dongxing would enter the Purple Light Hell, and search for an object for Huyang Academy that had been there for a long time. Huyang Academy was built by the royal dynasty of Wu country, and had countless resources. If he cultivated with all his might, even if he left an object, he could still advance towards the gathering origin realm. The people of Huyang Academy were not stupid. If it was easy to obtain that object, why would they give such generous conditions? The Purple Light Hell was full of dangers, and one step could kill him. But for the sake of his son, Ling Dongxing came out 7 days ago. Yesterday, the people from Tigeryang Academy came, and they also reported to Ling family. Today they will pick up people according to the agreement. But at this time, Ling family's Grand Deacon Ling Zhongquan ran over to negotiate with the predecessor, wanting to quietly return that precious standard to Ben Ling Moyan's grandson. The reason, Ling Moyan is a genius, with an infinite future. Such an opportunity cannot be wasted by choosing one thing. The friendly predecessor naturally will not agree. This is an opportunity that father tested to exchange for life. But Ling Zhongquan said to negotiate. In fact, he only informed the predecessor, fundamentally not taking the ninja's architectural opinion into account. The predecessor was not allowed to make a move. But Ling Zhongquan is a gathering origin realm expert. One finger can suppress. Is the opponent close by? Just one punch, the predecessor was seriously injured, then locked in his room, showing no desire to cause trouble in front of the people of Taigayang Academy. Waiting for Ling Dongxing to return, the game was already over, and the predecessor was injured and died instantly. Ling Han snorted. This was really too much. His father had to die to exchange for this standard. But Ling Zhongquan's grandfather and grandson took it away. A pair of extremely shameless people, unable to provide. The cow got up from the bed and immediately felt pain all over his body. Zan was resurrected, but the wound on his body would not improve endlessly. The spirit root was still injured. Ling Han slightly raised his eyebrows. This blow from Ling Zhongquan had already caused a deep injury to his spirit root, and the spirit root was injured. This was an extremely troublesome matter. Ordinary treatment was ineffective. As far as I know, there are 7 types of medicinal pills that can heal the spirit root, but 4 of them are too expensive. Even if I sell all of the Ling family, I still can't exchange them. Moreover, my spirit root is only slightly injured. I don't need such high-grade medicinal pills. The remaining 3 types, 2 of them want to be refined into pills. With my current 2nd-level body refining cultivation, it's too much of a stretch. Then there's only one choice, which is the primordial heart spiritual liquid. I just need to mix the medicinal ingredients according to the ratio, and it will be cooked into a spiritual liquid. First, heal the injury, then go and stop Ling Zhongquan and his grandson. Although I don't want that standard, but I absolutely cannot let the opportunity that father used his life to exchange for take advantage of those 2 shameless grandfathers. He sat down cross-legged and began to circulate the immortal heavenly scripture. This was the first time he circulated this cultivation technique that could possibly be at the divine level. But because he had already deduced it for more than 10,000 years, he was currently operating very leisurely. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Within his body, a strong vitality was emitted. A large amount of yuan power was consumed, but his injuries were rapidly recovering. In just a few minutes, his injuries were completely healed, as expected of the immortal heavenly scripture. I have just started cultivating and it has such a miraculous effect. It's just that this is completely different from other cultivation methods. Normal cultivation methods are to use spiritual roots to transform the spiritual energy of heaven and earth into yuan power. But the immortal heavenly scripture is the opposite. Using yuan power to temper the body, it can also heal injuries. If you cultivate to the highest realm, immortal is not impossible. That's why it can be called heavenly scripture. Unfortunately, my current level is not enough. Otherwise, I can use the immortal heavenly scripture to heal the spiritual root. Ling Han opened his eyes, looked at the gradually clear sky outside the window, and muttered, "Now, I should go see that shameless old man Ling Zhongquan once, and give him a surprise." He put on his shoes, walked to the door, and opened it. A tall figure immediately appeared outside the door. Blocking his path, this person was called Zhong Yuan, Ling Zhongquan's hunting dog. Young Master Han, the Grand Deacon instructed, "You wait in the room today." Zhong Yuan laughed darkly. Although the person opposite was the son of the clan master, but he was a useless person. In his eyes it was a joke. Ling Han's eyes turned cold and said, "You dare to block me?" "The one who is blocking is you," the Grand Deacon said. "Today absolutely cannot let Ling Han go and cause trouble. If necessary, even a fight will be enough." Zhong Yuan smiled on the outside but not on the inside and said, "This is the Grand Deacon's order. Respectfully asking young Master Han not to make things difficult for me. This old dog Ling Zhongquan is also very careful. Seriously injuring him still doesn't feel at ease, even sending people to guard the door. And this matter can also be seen. Letting his nephew enter Taigayang Academy. To Ling Zhongquan how heavy it is. But when this hope is destroyed, Ling Zhongquan's disappointment and anger can also be imagined. Get lost," Ling Han coldly said. "Young Master Han, this is the great." Bang! Ling Han raised his hand and whipped, coldly saying, "What are you? I told you to get lost and you still don't get lost." "What? I got slapped by a useless person." Zhong Yuan couldn't believe it and touched his face. That trash actually dared to attack him. And even hit him. What kind of joke was this? He was furious, thinking back to how Ling Zhongquan had said that he could attack when necessary. He couldn't help but feel evil, calmly saying, "Young Master Han, you forced me to." Bang! Ling Han waved his hand a second time and firmly slapped him again.